Welcome to Roman to Yoga. If you're new here, I'm Casey. Make your way to your yoga mat and slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Flex your ankles and take a full body stretch. Breathe in and out a few times. Place your hands on your chest, draw your chin down and back, and I want you to pick one word or phrase during today's yoga class, something that you're grateful for in your life. Don't overthink it. The first thing that comes to your mind will suffice. Place a bend in your knees, and if you're using yoga blocks today, grab them at this time. Place one yoga block on the highest setting and the second one on the medium setting. Line it up with your brow line and rest your head on the tall block. Now, it may take you a moment to set up for this pose. That's completely normal. Just adjust things around, get comfy and cozy, and we'll all come in this pose together. Inhale, bring your palms to touch. Exhale, lower your arms to the T position. Inhale, palms to touch. Exhale, lower the hands down. Open and close your arms a couple of times. And as your body warms up, rest your hands on the mat, close your eyes, draw your chin down and back. Firmly press all four corners of the feet into one another. See if your knees can come just a little bit closer to the mat beneath you. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just envision a micro hair moving closer towards the floor. Remember, your body will open up over time, and today, your body is exactly where it needs to be. The most important thing is you made time to get on the mat, and that's all that matters. Now, some of these postures will be held for a few minutes, so my voice is going to go away so you can just focus on the stretch at hand. No need for me to babble on continuously out through today's yoga class, but I'll call you out of the posture as I'm your timekeeper. On your next breath, bring your hands to your legs and slowly draw your knees together. Sit up, and once you're in a seated position, pick up your right foot and place it just above your left knee. Circle out your ankle in one direction. Notice if there's any sticky spots or any areas that need some extra attention. Circle your ankle in the opposite direction and breathe deeply. Extend your left leg long, flex your ankle, and keep your foot exactly where it's at. Now, if your knee isn't resting on the floor today, that's okay. You can bring a block and bring the floor closer to you, or a pillow, just whatever feels good in your body. I'm just letting my knee dangle, as I know one day perhaps it'll be resting on the floor. Hip hinge forward, flex your foot, and breathe deeply. Being a yoga teacher, people often have these assumptions that I'm extremely flexible as Gumby. Well, the fact is, that just isn't true. I spend 9 to 10 hours a day hunched over at a desk. Here, I'll continue my story. Step your foot towards the outside of your left hip. Clasp your left arm and turn towards your right. Take your gaze over your right shoulder and close your eyes. But the point I'm trying to make is, even though I don't practice yoga all day long and am an extremely flexible person, I just keep showing up and taking care of my body and knowing that yoga is a practice for life. So my question for you today is, are you practicing yoga for life, or do you kind of beat yourself up a little because maybe you're not the most flexible? Heck, maybe you are the most flexible and I'm carrying on for nothing that is you're worried about. Well, regardless, I'm happy you're here. Come back to that seated position and cross your left ankle just above your right knee. Now circle your foot in one direction. Notice how this foot compares to the other. You're just collecting data. You're not overthinking it, just noticing something and keeping it in your toolbox. Now circle your foot out in the opposite direction. Keep your navel point drawn in and up. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You know what is to come. You've been here before. On your next breath, extend your right leg long, flex your right ankle. Now I'm extra tight on the left-hand side, so at first I try a few yoga blocks to rest it down. That's just uncomfortable, so I decided to firmly press all four corners of the left foot into the right thigh. And you can do that too. Hip hinge forward and bend and straighten your elbows a couple of times. Remember, it's okay to modify. We're both getting the same stretch. Next time you hip hinge forward, find stillness. Breathe in and breathe out. Do your best to keep a flat back. Try not to crunch forward. Even if you're just coming an inch and a half forward, that's okay. I don't know if you spend a lot of time crunched over your phone, but let's not crunch over in our yoga practice. Give me a long, lengthened out, beautiful spine. Step your left foot on the outside of your right hip. Turn towards your left. Look over that left shoulder. See if you can sit up a little bit taller. A little bit taller. Find your edge. Push past resistance, but don't go past uncomfortable pain, unease in the body. Notice how you feel in this stretch. Release the pose. Adjust yourself as needed. And on your next breath, return to hands and knees. Knees hip-width distance apart. Extend your right leg long and step it in between your hands. Grab your blocks if you're using them. And bend and straighten the right leg a couple of times. Flex your ankle. Bend your knee. Notice that your left foot, the top of your left foot, is flush towards the mat. Mine's a little bit crunched up, and then I finally get it back down. Constantly keep bringing yourself back to alignment. It's easy to rush and fly through postures, but slow down. I'd rather see a nice aligned pose over something that could potentially cause your body pain. Next time you hinge forward, find stillness. Find the appropriate setting for your yoga blocks. Draw your navel point in and up. Take your gaze forward. Focus on one item in the room. Focus your attention on that item. This is known as drishti, which is to hold your gaze on a single object. Hold it there just a little bit longer. See if you can come a little bit more forward. try not to rest on your knee. Now flex your ankle. Wiggle it out a few times and then find stillness. Draw your navel point in and up. Look down at the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and breathe deeply. Know that all you have is right here and right now. And if you think about what is to come, you will miss out on the present moment. On your next breath, step your foot back and then step your left foot in between your hands. Bend and straighten your left knee a couple of times. Movement before stillness, bringing a little bit of space in your hips before you hold these postures for a few minutes. No need to rush. No need to keep up with me or your neighbor. You're moving with one breath at one movement. Hinge forward. Rest the top of the foot onto the mat. Keep your core tight. Take your gaze forward. Focus your attention on one object, your drisky. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Keep your navel point drawn in and up. Extend the leg, flex the ankle. Come up to a higher position on your block. Shake the foot out a few times. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your gaze down at the floor and breathe deeply. Lift and spread your toes. Create a soft bend in your left knee. No need to hyperextend today. You want to take care of you. It's so easy to try to push past things, but it's okay. Step the foot back and make your way onto your belly. Place your arms in the goalpost position. Take your gaze towards your right and notice that your right elbow is in line with your right shoulder. Drag your right knee up towards your right elbow. Now, clearly I am no videographer, so if you glance at the screen, which I really don't want you to do, I'm not even in frame. So I teach by using direct action, meaning guiding you into the pose without just shouting out the yoga postures. So I hope you're able to get into this position through my words. Your left leg should be long. The left part of your face, your cheek should be resting on the mat. Close your eyes. Enjoy this posture and breathe deeply. On your next breath, extend your right leg long. Turn your cheek to the opposite direction and drag your left knee up towards your left elbow. Now, notice that your elbow is in line with your shoulder. If it's up, drag it down. If it's under, bring it up. Now, once again, if you're experiencing any discomfort, rest it exactly where it's at. I invite you to keep working on your alignment. Go easy on yourself. Relax into this pose and breathe deeply. Extend the left leg long. And the easiest way for you, come to hands and knees. Once you're at hands and knees, press the big toes together, separate your knees to the wide edge of the mat, sit back onto your heels, extend your arms forward, and breathe into child's pose. Rest your forehead on the ground. Walk your hands a little bit more forward. Find your edge. Walk your hands towards the right edge of the mat. Once they're there, slowly lower your left shoulder blade a little bit closer to the floor. Can you feel the subtle difference in your upper back? Breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Return to center and then walk your hands over to the left. Once your hands walk over to the left and you feel the stretch on the right side of your body, lower your right shoulder a little bit closer to the floor beneath you. Once again, feel the subtle difference in your upper back. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Know that you're here just a little bit longer. Walk your hands towards the center of your yoga mat. Place a bend in your elbows and firmly press into all four corners of your palms for a prayer, what looks like a prayer position behind your head. Now walk your elbows just a little bit further from you. Breathe deeply and feel the stretch in your underarms. How does this feel for you? Does anything come up when you do this posture? Breathe in and breathe out. On your next breath, Firmly press all four corners of the hands into the mat and make your way to hands and knees. Knees should be hip-width distance apart, feet in line with hips, hands in line with shoulders. Inhale, lift your right arm up and thread it through your left. Let your right shoulder blade rest onto the mat and walk your left hand forward. Feel the twist in your upper back. Now notice if one foot begins to creep in towards the other. Gently guide your feet back to alignment. And keep your core tight, tucked, and engaged through this yoga practice. I know from the outside, someone might say, "What are you doing? You're stretching, it's so easy." Well, make your stretches active. You're here. Work a little bit harder in order for things to open up over time. You get out what you put in. And one thing I'm hoping you put in is yoga 3 to 4 times a week. It doesn't even have to be my class. I just want to know that you're taking care of you and that you're stretching. Release the posture on this side. Lift the left arm up and thread it through the right. Rest your left shoulder onto the mat and gently walk your right hand forward. See if you can walk the hand a little bit more forward. Remember, sensation but not pain. Notice that your feet don't creep into one another. Keep your heels hip-width distance apart. Draw your navel point toward your spine. Don't clench your jaw, so make sure you create space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. And gently guide your mind back to the words of your intention that you set at the beginning of today's yoga practice. What are you grateful for in your life? Repeat those words to yourself softly 3 times. I am grateful for. I am grateful for. I am grateful for. And breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Press your right hand into the ground and return to hands and knees. Take just a moment to slow down. Flip your palms in the opposite direction and begin to hinge back ever so subtly. This movement doesn't have to be dramatic. Just a few, it can be 1/4 of an inch. It doesn't have to be 2 inches. You're just stretching out your wrists. I don't know if you spend a lot of time texting or typing out on the computer. Maybe you're up cleaning your house. Release the pose and flip your palms forward. Now, if you're using a pillow today, grab the pillow at that time. Come to a cross-legged position and notice that your left foot is in front and hip hinge forward and feel the stretch in your hips. Extend the arms long, close your eyes, and let your forehead rest into your pillow. Now you can turn your head towards your left if you want, or not, it's up to you. Know that you're in the last few minutes of your yoga practice, and all the hard work you did hopefully will carry with you throughout your day. On your next breath, push your hands into the ground and sit up. Change the cross-legged position of your legs. Notice if it feels funky or if not, and then bring the pillow forward. Hip hinge forward and rest your hand onto the pillow. Turn your gaze to your right if you're taking that neck stretch today. Breathe deeply. You made it to your yoga mat. Sometimes the hardest part is just rolling out your mat and making time for you. Push into the ground, draw your hands to heart center, and always, always commend yourself for making time for you. Can you help me out and let me know what kind of yoga video you'd like to see? I'd love to make a video for you. Bye.